Hello and welcome back to Disc Golf Daily, the podcast that tries to catch you up on all things disc golf in about 8 to 10 minutes. I'm Brian Papa Wolf Frawley, and I'm excited to talk to you about the European Open. Dun, 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 dun. It's a PDGA Major. Guess what? Doesn't happen in America, happens in Europe. We had the President's Cup midway through the week. That was fun. That was exciting. We saw a couple upsets maybe, but in general, we saw America win again. My 2 cents. Would love to see that flip-flop come over here now that we have so many Europeans playing, throughout the full tour, if you will, or at least larger sections of the tour. Would love to see the President's Cup happen on U.S. soil. I think fans would love seeing that and maybe pay a couple extra dollars to come out and see a different style event like that. But anyways, let's get to the action. So the first 2 rounds were on the Monster. Second 2 rounds were, of course, on the Beast. Now, the Beast was exciting to check out this year because we won't see it in the European Open next year because we will see Worlds there. Now, I think I just made all that up, or I think I'm repeating it, but I think it's correct. So definitely check it out next year with Worlds happening off of U.S. soil. Pretty exciting stuff with the FPO division. We saw, Kristen come back last week and take a W. She comes back this week with a pretty interesting battle. If we look at where we were sitting after 2 rounds, so our first 2 rounds again, we're on the Monster. After that, we had Kristen Tatar at -10, Evelina Salonen at -9, and then a big gap. So we had Silva Saarinen at -1, who's been playing hot of late, and Missy Gannon at +1. Kaidi Alsalu and Katie Tate and Henna Blumrose round out your top 5 at +2. Now, here's where it got interesting. After round 3, Kristen had what I could merely say is a mortal round. Made me feel like one of us, if you will. I saw a few memes out there on the internet. She shot a +8, dropping her to 3rd position. Evelina shot even, but Silva shot -5, so Silva jumped up to 2nd place. Kristen was in 3rd. Kaidi Alsalu and Missy Gannon were tied for 4th. Which brings us into the final day. There was a cut. Not everybody that makes the cut, however, makes cash at this event. So that was an interesting follow along for those of you that are up bright and early on the East Coast. After 2 holes, we saw that Silva closed the gap to 1 stroke on Evelina. And we saw that Kristen had not moved at all. And then things started to get weird. Kristen birdies 3 out of the next 4. Really birdies 7 out of the next 8. Silva birdies, then 2 bogeys, then 2 birdies, then a double birdie, then a bogey, then a birdie, and then a double bogey. Missy has a real clean section where she gets 3 out of 5, keeps it going through there. Evelina scores just a double bogey on the front 9, not grabbing herself any birdies, which makes it even tighter. Unfortunately, Evelina has a bogey, and then a couple double bogeys and a triple bogey towards the end. She drops all the way down to 4th place. Missy Gannon plays an even back 9, gets herself a 3rd position. Silva Saarinen has an unfortunate double bogey and only 1 birdie late. And Kristen Tatar, smooth sailor, Kristen Tatar herself, comes in and gets herself the European Open Major. That was a thrilling second round, even watching it, knowing the result and kind of sneaking a peek while I was on the course watching a little coverage was really exciting for me. Ironically, one of the highest scoring names, or one of the highest names to finish based on their rating, was Kona Star Montgomery. Unfortunately, she was also one of the highest rated players to not cash. She was in that weird bubble that made a couple extra, that got to play the last day but didn't make any cash, so she got that round in there. Some other high-rated players, all over 950 on the FPO side to not cash, was Henna Blumrose, Lucky Lorenzen, and Sarah Holcomb. What does this mean for our Disc Golf Pro Tour standings? We had a big shakeout. Now, we know that Owen and Holland are not over here in Europe, and Missy Gannon taking 3rd launches her up into 1st place. Evelina taking 4th, gets 138 points, actually falls down because of Missy's jump. So Missy's in 1st, Owen and Holland 2nd and 3rd. Evelina takes 4th. Kristen's win propels her up with 200 points into 5th position. Ella Hansen scoring well, gets herself into 6th position, jumping over Natalie Ryan. Kat Murch scored well. She jumps higher up into your top 10. Rebecca Cox falls because she was idle, if you will, and Hannah Bloomrose rounds out your top 5 for your Disc Golf Pro Tour standings. We've got a lot going on. Next big one on stateside is Ledgestone, and that's an Elite Plus event, I believe, as well. Let's check the notes right here. Boom, it is an Elite Plus. So we have the European Disc Golf Festival next weekend, and then Ledgestone with that Elite Plus. And then right after that, we go down to Kentucky for the LWS Open, and then Worlds right after that. So we're going to see a lot of changes, I think, over the next 5 weeks on the FPO standing, and probably in the MPO standing as well. Shout out to Katie Tate, who came in 9th and shot 40 points over her rating. Like we said earlier, Kona shot 34 points over her rating. Unfortunately, missed cash by 1 there. And Amanda Leonard-Artson, 910 rated, average 942 golf, so 32 points over her rating. So congrats to her. Overall, pretty cool event on the FPO side. I'm biased. I really like the Beast. Monster is cool. Monster is challenging, but for some reason, maybe it's the nostalgia, just in love with the Beast there. On the MPO side, unfortunately, we heard the horns a little bit too much, and not everybody got to finish their second round. And some people had to go back out on Saturday morning and get the Beast or the Monster finished before they could head over to the Beast in the afternoon. So after 2 rounds, it was, Gannon Burr tied with Paul McBeth. What a storyline for us that like to talk about this type of stuff. Chris Dickerson, who's just Mr. Consistent, was in 3rd. Nicholas and Ricky were tied for 4th. So how is that, for star power at a major? We've talked about how long it's been since Ricky snagged a major. Does Paul still got it? How unbelievable is Gannon? And then, by the way, Chris Dickerson's pretty good too. I think he's got a major or 2. So after round 3, again, they're playing in the afternoon after they already played in the morning. Your top 4 didn't move too much, but there was a little bit of a spread. So Gannon Burr, after 3 rounds, had a 3-stroke lead over Paul. Paul had 1 stroke over Ricky, and Ricky had 3 over Nicholas and Chris Dickerson. After the finals, it was just a slower start for Paul, if you will. Gannon got 6 out of his first 7 of the first 9. Ricky got an early eagle in there and played Mr. Consistent on the way to shooting the hot round of the day at -13. But at the end of the day, young Gannon Burr gets himself another major, winning 2 strokes over Ricky Wysocki, who is 3 strokes ahead of Paul McBeth. Isaac Robinson shoots a -11 and takes a big jump up into 4th place. Chris Dickerson still shoots a -9, somehow loses a position because of Isaac's great round, and he rounds out your top 5. Nicholas was 6th. Ezra Robinson was 7th, and Lori Leitinen was 8th position. Shout out, though. We had a big tie for 9th, and I just want to shout them out. Thomas Gilbert, Galvin Badcock, Robert Burge, Matt Bell, and Maury Villman all took 9th position on the MPO side. Some big names did not receive any cash for this event. So in no particular order of rating or anything, some names that stood out to me: Jeremy Colling missed cash. Let's see. And Jonan Heinonen missed cash. Andrew Presnell, I believe, Corey Ellis, who won last year, Aaron Gossage, and Eagle McMahon all missed cash at this event. So what does that do for our standings on the MPO side? We moved around a lot, but up top, that guy up top, his name is Gannon Burr, and he just got himself 200 more points for the major. That's absolutely crazy. His spread on hole one, or for the first place, if you will, is only getting bigger. Ricky comes in 2nd place, still loses by 30 points, so that gap expands a little more than 70 points. Gannon has over Ricky right now. Nicholas maintains and gets 3rd place. Anthony Barella, who took last cash, is your 4th. Calvin Heimberg, who took 23rd position, is your top 5th. And then this is where it gets really interesting below. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, Ezra Robinson. Kyle Klein is 7th. I think they flip-flop. Isaac Robinson jumps up a bit. Matty O stays in 9th. And then this guy named Paul McBeth, who just happens to get himself 150 points for 3rd. Makes quite a jump. Not bad for a guy who hasn't played every event this year. Overall, pretty exciting stuff. Wanted to give a quick shout out. We had, boom, boom, the MPO player that shot highest over their rating was Marcus Fjortoff, who shot 44 points over his rating, came in at 997 and averaged 1041. So, and he took 10th place too. So congrats to that player, or give or take 10th because that massive tie at 9th. My bad on that one. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in and watching. We really appreciate it. Remember to tell your friends on a backup today. I got to play outside, throw some frisbees in the woods, if you will. Reminded some people to check out this podcast, whether you're listening or whether you are, viewing on the old YouTubes. Hey, how you doing? There's your custom wave. Thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you here. Remember that we have Instagram, Facebook, X, and an AOL email, discgolfdaily@aol.com. Thanks again for watching. We really appreciate it. Remember to hit that like, subscribe, maybe even tell another bonus friend about us. Until next time, I'm Brian Popple Frawley. Keep it in the fairway.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It really does help us grow.